All right. Yes. Another Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Takesha and Daria live at 5 online success made simple, where we teach you the organic approach to making money online. So
Yes,
as you are jumping
ma'am.
on, just let us know where you're coming from. I see you guys popping on. Yes. We are in for a treat. So I want to give a shout out to those of you that are watching us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and also in our Facebook group. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Just put in the comments that you are ready. And I know you see our lovely guest. You are in for a treat. But before we bring her on, I just want to say to you real quick to make sure that you click on the link above this video so that StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, whichever platform you're on, it gives them permission to showcase your name. And
Mhm.
yes. Let me see if I see any comments. I see you jumping on. Absolutely, yes. Put hashtag live if you're watching this live. And also, if you are watching a replay, make sure you put in the comments hashtag replay. How is everybody doing this evening?
Woo! It is Tuesday, and I know you guys out there are phenomenal because we are on here with a freaking magical guest, right? And you guys are gonna understand why I say that in a minute. So,
Yes,
did we
Alan
leave
in the
anything
house.
before I introduce her? Did we leave anything out?
I think we could give a shout out to those that are popping on. I see Staten
Yes,
Island's in the house, New York in
hey,
the house. Oh yeah,
yes.
we didn't even introduce ourselves, or did we? I
No,
mean,
no.
well, for those of you that do not know us, my name is Daria Jackson Legonier, coming to you from Brooklyn, New York, y'all. And it's pretty nice. Normally
Yes,
it's freezing. And then we have my co-host over here, Takesha Wyatt from the sunny Florida, is
hey,
always
hey.
warm. Can't wait to get over there and get some sun. And then
Yes.
we're going to get to our guests below us in a moment. But I see you guys popping on. I see Bermuda's in the house.
What?
New York is in the house. Staten Island, where
What?
everybody's smiling in the house. That's right. So see, I guess without further ado, we can get this started.
We're gonna get this party started, and it is my pleasure to be able to introduce this woman to you. We're talking about this woman is a happy wife, right? A joyful boy mom. I'm jealous because y'all know I always wanted a boy. She is a generational wealth creator, a kingdom distribution center of God's wealth, mercy, and love. And she had to describe herself, what she would say is that she is one who equips others to overcome their past, discover their purpose, and propel them into their pure awesomeness while developing their personal and corporate leadership. Freaking magical, pure awesomeness. Without further ado, Miss What? Linda Joe White. Yes,
Linda
amen.
Yes,
Joe White, yeah.
yes,
Woo!
yes.
And,
I
and,
Woo!
mean,
do you want to
hey,
say anything before we get the interview started, Linda? Because we will be asking you a few questions. Is there anything you want to say before we get started?
listen, I just want to say that I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to be here. Like, this is a tremendous opportunity, and it's just a tremendous moment. I know personally in my life, and then I just believe corporately in our lives. So I just
Yeah,
want to thank you, Takesha and Daria, for having me here
You are welcome.
and for just being
absolutely.
open to vibe. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. And everybody that's
yeah.
joining us, get a notepad, get something to write with, because I'm trusting that there's going to be something that you'll walk away from that's going to
Oh, yeah.
really just kind of propel you to a new
Oh,
place.
yeah. And we're gonna dig in, right? And we're gonna get to know Miss Linda Joe White today. So
Yep.
That's
the
right.
first question, we just keep it real simple, And we just want to know, Linda, can you tell us about your journey as a generational health creator, specifically how you have used your success to create a lasting legacy for not only yourself, but also your family?
Well, I think thank you for the question. So I think how I've done that is authentically coming to terms with who I was created to be, right? We all come from a place, and yet we all see where we feel like we're supposed to be. And so bringing those two things together and bringing those two things together is oftentimes difficult, because you don't know how to get to what you see. So what I discovered after some years is that there's a surefire way of becoming and manifesting those dreams and the things that you see. And so once I discovered some of those, because I'm still discovering some, I've discovered a whole bunch of them that have helped me overcome my past, right? Discover my purpose, and then being propelled and, in my pure awesomeness. So I help others do that exact same thing, equip them with those keys that change their life forever and their lineage, then everybody that comes after them.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you better believe that. And that I love your answer. That's a phenomenal and straightforward answer. That's what I love about it. Right? She got right to the point. She didn't put the fuck in there. She just led you guys right to the one. Right? So you describe yourself as a kingdom distribution center of God's wealth, mercy, and love. Now, can you explain what that means to you and how it influences your work as a leader and mentor?
Yeah. So Kingdom Distribution Center of God's wealth, mercy, and love. So I want you all to get a picture of your local Walmart. Okay.
Okay.
And I want you to think about, when you drive around the back of a Walmart, you see these bays for trucks. Okay. And those bays, those doors, are where trucks come from all over the place to drop off product. Okay. I was a corporate quality auditor in the manufacturing environment for 20 years. God takes me and my husband out there. He says, go be a truck driver. I'm living out of a rig. I get rid of my house, motorcycles, cars, and put some stuff in storage. And I'm living out of a truck, right? For 2 years. And I've been to every state in America except for Hawaii and Alaska. Every north, south, east, west interstate.
Wow.
And I realize it's a moment where God is preparing me for something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So because we were team drivers, because we could go East Coast, West Coast in 2 days, we oftentimes had these loads for Walmart. And so we'd have to pull into Bentonville, Arkansas, or somewhere in Texas. And it's this huge open space. And all these trucks are coming in with these different products, right? Household products, beauty products, food, all of it. And then they get put into this distribution center where now they go out to your local Walmarts. Okay. This is the picture that I got when, fast forward some years later, I meet my mentor. His name was Dr. Miles Monroe. He says, you need to figure out why you're here. You need to figure out your purpose. So I enroll in a mentorship program. I become, praying, fasting, and I'm saying, God, what is it? Who am I? What is my purpose here? He says, you are a kingdom distribution center of my wealth, mercy, and love. What does that mean? Well, that means I'm going to be a billionaire one day because I got checks to write. Now, how do I know that? Because Jeff Bezos' wife, when she left and they divorced, gets half, and now she's writing checks for $1 million here, $10 million here, 30, right? That's a distribution center. Money comes in through witty ideas and inventions and abilities to create wealth in places like the platform we're connected. And then it goes out through my business checking account to those people who are in need. It's not only the wealth, it's the mercy, right? We're called to be merciful. So you're at a store and you're in line, and the woman in front of you's got 4 kids, and she's putting stuff, she's telling them, the little child is saying, Mama, can I get this? Can I get this? And you can see it on her face. She ain't got it to give him.
Right.
So you gently, with God's mercy, lean over into her ear and say, tell him, yeah, he can have it. And just go through and I'll pay. See, that's mercy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay?
Love
and
that.
Love.
I love it.
God's love is taking the ones that smell, that have been kicked out of the churches, that everybody knows is going up and down the pole just to pay the bills. Like, can I talk real for a minute?
Yeah, go. This group, we do that in this group. Go for it, honey.
Yes.
Nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody wants to relate to them. Nobody wants to befriend them.
Right.
Because either they can't relate to them, or they know exactly where they've been and they don't want to be reminded of where they were. So a kingdom distribution center of God, who is also the Lord, owner, creator of everything in the earth, is saying, Lord, move it through me. Move it through me.
Yes.
I'll do what's required to have you manifest thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. His wealth, his mercy, and his love.
His love.
Which is the greatest of everything.
Yes.
Being used as a vessel.
I love that answer. Oh my God. If you guys are getting value from this interview, go ahead and drop some gems right now in the chat. Oh my God. You guys are in for a treat. That is only the second question, guys. We still have 5 more questions to ask her.
We still got some more food to eat. Look at that.
Listen, okay, well, this will be my last question. Right? I'm only asking the first 3 questions, and I'm glad I got these 3 questions. I would like to know, this is something that Daria and I thought about. So, how do you help others overcome their past and discover their purpose? And can you give an example of a client or a mentee you worked with in the past?
Okay, so how I help people overcome their past and discover their purpose is by, number 1, always being ready for my day, right?
Yes.
There are humans that each one of us is assigned to, right? So I'm ready when I wake up. All right, whoever you're gonna bring into my path, right? I then need to be ready to serve them. I need to be ready to listen to them. I need to be ready. Everybody's got a past, right? Part of my past was, and I'm 57, so when I was 19, I was sexually assaulted by 3 men after a hockey game one night. So I know after overcoming this, right, is that 30% of women globally, their first sexual experience is forced. So I know if I walk into a room, 30% of the women in the room, chances are. So I'm ready to receive the one who feels like they resonate to me. I'll say hello and gently. I won't ignore the one who's being ignored. And then I'll be ready to listen to them and befriend them. So let me use this as an example. I was in Houston, Texas, and invited on a radio show, and I'm talking, right? And I'm just explaining some stuff. And the guy who was engineering, he had heard about me. He had heard about me because he had heard about my hugs. He's like, this lady gives hugs, right? That's where the mercy and the love comes in.
That's right.
He said, but she don't want to talk to me. And so in the show, the host of the show said, our boy back there, he's been waiting for you to come down here, and he's heard about you and all this, and he's feeling right now, he's vibing. I'm getting texts. He was texting her literally as we were doing the show. And he said, but he doesn't feel worthy because of his past. So I asked for permission to get real. And it was one of those radio stations where you could get real, right? So I'm like, listen, I don't know what you think you see when you look at me, but Chica has been through some stuff. And so I just shared a little bit. And then after the show, he was like, I just need a hug okay, so after he's hugging and after he weeps, now he's like, okay, here's what I've been through. I done kill somebody. I done rape somebody, you know, and here you are talking about you've forgiven your rapist and you want to equip the rapist because he doesn't understand where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So you want to equip the rapist with the keys, these laws to succeed. He's like, I need you. So how do we do this? I said, you take my phone number and you text me.
Yes.
And so 3 years later, we're still friends. And 3 years later, he is no longer in a place of condemnation, but he's rather in a place of understanding that he wasn't equipped. He was miseducated out of who he really was, which is a king. He came here on earth as a king to dominate his gift, which is music, not dominate females, but so it's about understanding that we're here, we're the answer to a question in our generation. And that takes needing to be transparent, needing to be real, and needing to love one another through the process of seeing them continue to thrive. He has relationships with his children now. He has relationships with his parents and siblings because he feels worthy of having those. And he's a totally different person than he was before. And so, and he's not the only one that I'm just grateful to say, that he's not the only one, that there's others.
Yeah, that requires a lot of work, to be strong enough and to be able to do that. And highly commendable. Excuse me, because most people don't even get past that part. They can't. They're still stuck, in that moment. They're still reliving it, never getting over it.
Yes.
So, so we commend you that you were able to do the work and get past it, and then bless him on top of that.
Absolutely.
So that's a big, that's a big person right there.
Absolutely.
My past, there's institutions in our earthly systems that have miseducated us into believing that because you live in a certain home or have a certain skin color or have so much amount in your bank account that you're no different, right? And that because social status or whatever has negated all of the junk and the stuff that you've done in your past. And the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, when a human, regardless of that, if they're in a $5 million home or they're struggling in a $500 a month place where they're paying rent, they're all asking the same questions. They all want to feel important. And so with that said, we're all connected. And
absolutely
communicate in a way where it's just like, man, I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you've been. I don't care because it's no different than anything I've ever done. And in many cases, you just haven't been caught.
You're say that again, honey. Yes.
That part.
If I got caught, I might have a prison record.
That part.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the mercy. We're
that's a fact.
centers of the mercy in recognizing that it's only been God's mercy and love. Surely goodness and mercy has followed me all the days of my life, even when I didn't realize goodness and mercy was following me. That's how amazing mercy is.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like when you're a victim of something, it takes a big person to see that the person that did this,
to
this
them
crime to you, that they're sick. They have their issues. That's why they did what they did.
Yep.
So for you to recognize that is amazing and wanting to help.
Absolutely.
And to see it through and see that this person is a changed person. They don't even have the same mindset that they used to have, because people do those things because they're hurt. They're, whatever happened with them with their childhood. That led them. You don't even know what happened to him. Maybe he was violated.
Exactly.
And then that's all he knew was to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
The
cycle just continues.
It's interesting.
No one breaks it.
Yeah. And and I think I'm grateful, like each one of us, you guys talk about online success made simple. And part of that is understanding who you were created to be. Right. So my dad is an engineer, and I'm a creative. So I paint, draw, and I'm creative that way. But I'm also an engineer's daughter. So I'm a process person. So in the automotive industry for 20 years, if there was a problem, so like, I wrote policies and procedures, QS 9000. I audited systems, trained over 10,000 people. And so you have this situation where when you're dealing with a customer complaint, you have to root cause analysis. Do a root cause analysis. You have to do a 5 why. Ask the question why. So my brain was automatically like that. And sometimes I know God didn't cause my assault, but He allowed it. Like Job, certain things were allowed, but it's always for His glory. And so I think it's okay. I'm okay with what happened to me because of who I am. I did a root cause analysis, right? And part of that analysis said I determined that where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Yes.
That revelation came to me through my mentor, Dr. Monroe. And he used to say, if you don't know who you are, right, then somebody's going to come along and tell you who they are. And it's not going to be for your benefit.
Yeah.
So the rapist, the one who's performing the assault, he doesn't understand the purpose of a human or a female. He doesn't understand the purpose of a human. Never. And so once he gains understanding, or she, then it changes the situation tremendously, So I thank God, we have to learn to get excited about who we are, and that's hard sometimes because of things we've been through. I was always told to be quiet. Be quiet. You talk too much. But guess what? God made me to be a teacher. God made me to share keys. God made me to be a root cause analysis and train 10,000 people. So I've got to learn. I've got to ask questions. I can't take anybody further than where I've gone. So all of it, we have to learn to just sit back and say, wow, look how beautiful that human is.
Yeah.
Wow. What are they bringing to the room when they walk into the room?
Yeah.
You got something I need. So I need to, find out who you are.
Right. And vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what this, like you said, that's what this whole thing is about. Online success made simple. Knowing who you are. We know who we are, and we know what we stand for. So we come before you to give you what we got.
Absolutely. Hey. Break it down.
Yep. And it's a beautiful thing.
I love it. I love the way you pointed that out, and that's what came, to mind. That's what came to mind. Right. Wow. All right. Well, this question right here, I know you're gonna work this question right here because I think this question here is Takesha and I's favorite question.
Yeah, that is. That is my favorite question.
All right. So here we go. So you refer yourself as freaking magical and pure awesomeness. So we want you to talk about the importance of self-confidence and self-love in achieving personal and professional success.
Yes.
I'm so glad you asked.
Bring it.
I'm so glad you asked. So people suffer. It's a universal law. It's universal key that people suffer from a lack of knowledge. Now, many of us have knowledge. We've acquired knowledge, but it's been wrong knowledge. Right? Right knowledge. Not all knowledge is good knowledge.
Absolutely.
Okay? And so this thing where Linda Jo White is like, I'm freaking magical and I'm pure awesomeness. And I encourage other people to understand that they too are freaking magical and pure awesomeness, comes from a place of, I was despised when I was born. Okay. Sicilian, German, and Irish. They wanted a boy first. My dad thought he failed because he had a girl first. So my entire life. Now my daddy just died 7 months ago. And it was 10 days before he died that he said, I'm sorry I treated you the way I did because I didn't really know who you were. Right? Now, I was 46 when I met my mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe. And when I began to acquire right knowledge. See, the books you read, the people you listen to,
Yes.
and what you allow to come in here and here
Yes.
is going to affect how you see yourself. And how you see yourself is the very thing that causes you, it gives you a postured position. It's the way you see yourself is what causes you to make the decisions that you make. Okay. So I had thought I was a mistake for 46 years.
Right.
Then, now I was married, right? Had a child. I'm doing business ventures. I mean, I'm like, but my mind, I wasn't fulfilling all that I was created to be, or even on that path, because I had a skewed perception of who I was. Then I was introduced to somebody, okay, who said, no, let me show you who you are. Now, what he did was he used the key of the universe that says nothing is yours until you discover it. So write that down. Nothing is yours until you discover it. See, I can tell you, you freaking magical and pure awesomeness all day long, but unless you know it and see it for yourself, you won't walk with your shoulders up. You won't walk. So he directed me to Genesis 1:26, which is found in something that some people call the Bible. I call it the law of God, because that's what it says it is. So a law is a law. It's as sure as the law of gravity. See, I discovered that I was created in the image and likeness of the Creator with his creative authority to dominate over everything in the earth, the fish, the fowl, the birds of the air. Like, I was created to be a business owner, right? I was created to be an entrepreneur, but I wasn't created to dominate over humans. That's what I shared with the ones who are the assaulters. Yeah. No, this desire to dominate, that's fine. Just don't do it over humans. Do it in the business world. Discover your gift. So that was the first thing. Then I discovered in the law of God that says I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Said I'm a masterpiece. Now check this out, you guys. The most valuable piece of art in the world is the Mona Lisa. And she's almost worth $1 billion. She's worth $1 billion for several reasons. But one of those reasons is because the nature of the subject. She's an enigma. Well, aren't we two enigmas? Right? She's worth almost $1 billion because Leonardo da Vinci developed a paint stroke that no one has been able to reproduce to this day, that takes lights and darks on the same brush and does it so that nobody's been able to recreate it. Now, when the creator himself, and I don't care what you call that creator, God, Abba, Father, whatever you call your God, creator, infinite spirit, he used a brush stroke unlike any other brush stroke on any other human that has ever has been, is now, or will be. Now, if people go to see the Mona Lisa and say, "Ooh, that's awesome," then what does that make me? What? That makes me pure awesome.
Freaking magical.
Freaking magical.
There it is right there. Freaking magical.
Unicorns are painted as imaginary and magical and glitter and sunshine and sparkle and all that kind of stuff. Well, then that just
I'm a unicorn, baby.
I'm freaking magical.
Yeah.
I am Linda Jo White.
You better
I am
believe
a masterpiece. I'm created in the image.
I'm a unicorn, baby.
I'm a son. I'm a queen. I'm a woman king.
Yes.
Created to dominate over the airwaves. Frequency, sound in the earth. That's why we're here right now.
Yes.
Got a t-shirt line. I'm getting ready to
launch.
That's cotton in the earth. I'm gonna get Life is Good. They're a t-shirt. Makes millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. They dominate the cotton with a creative idea on a t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Right? And there's plenty of people out there want to do t-shirts. We can all do t-shirts together. I just put my take on it. Ain't no way you can make a t-shirt the way I make a t-shirt. None of you can do a website or a business the way you all do it. Put your take on it, because ain't nothing new under the sun. Solomon was a business owner. Abraham was a business owner. So, freaking magical and pure awesome.
Love that answer. I love that answer. Nothing is yours until you discover.
Right.
Right.
Boom. Y'all write them down. Absolutely.
Oh
I
my
believe it.
goodness. Make sure
Absolutely.
that you are putting things of substance in your mind, in your ears.
Yeah.
Be mindful of
Oh,
what you're
my
listening to and who you're talking to. You know,
God.
I walk away with that. That is
Ooh.
so important. That's why you should be doing affirmations in the morning. You
And
know,
that's
Yes.
why we are in the GBG, guys. We
Yeah.
cannot, if you are a female, we cannot emphasize the strength, the community, right? The support that you have in the GBG sisterhood. If you're not a member of the GBG sisterhood, you need to be.
You
Be
need
reach
to
out
be.
asking
to
yourself why you're not. Reach
Reach
out to
out to
one of the
those
three
two.
of us.
Reach out to those two
Reach
right
out to
there.
those two. Okay, reach out to one of us. You're a little
Reach out
Belinda.
to
Go
those
ahead.
two
GBG
right
in the
there.
chat,
Absolutely.
in the comments.
GBG. If any of your GBG sisters on here, go ahead and drop some diamonds in the chat so we can know that you're on here right now.
Yes,
Because diamonds, gems is what we drop in the GBG sisterhood. If you are having a bad day, if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, if you just don't feel like doing people today, you need to be in the GBG sisterhood because that is how you're going to start your day off right. Right?
Right.
You can get good eats in there
And
every single morning.
every single morning.
Every
And
morning.
here's how important it
Go
is.
ahead.
Here's how important it is. That law of God that says my people suffer from a lack of knowledge. When you,
Yes.
I studied that. I've written a book on it. It's called "You Need to Know That," and because you need to know some things, right? And that actually came from a movie. I'm a film student, broadcast student, and I don't know if y'all see The Wedding Singer, but did y'all see The Wedding Singer? There's a line in it. So Robbie, right? But Adam Sandler, he gets done by this girl the next day. She comes over because she left him walking. And she says, you know, I just woke up and realized I was going to marry a wedding singer. And he's like, information that would have been useful to me yesterday, right? Yeah. So when I met Dr. Monroe and I'm reading the law of God, that is sure as the law of gravity, I'm like, information that would have been useful to me yesterday. Yes. So that's why I say to people, you need to know that, because here's the deal. When you break down that law, it says my people are annihilated, neutralized, deemed ineffective and useless. They're being killed off because they lack a clear, concise understanding of Creator, God's original intention towards them. Yes. You wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, and if you were like I used to be, you heard people in your life saying, you talk too much, you're too dramatic. Would you just shut up? Why are you so hype all the time? And then just, you're driving me nuts. You're a mistake. You shouldn't even be here. You should have been a boy.
Lord. Say it louder. Say it louder, Linda, for people in the back. Oh my God. Say it
you
loud.
Get with a group like GBG and you understand. You come on a morning call and you are like, no, baby. No,
I'm
baby girl.
magical.
You ain't no mistake.
Yes.
The law of God says he chooses the womb of the woman for which he places a child. That means you're not here because your mommy and daddy had sex. No, God used them having sex to get you here. Because you're an answer to a question in your generation. That's what you hear on GBG. You hear that you are important. Linda,
we're in church today. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
She's bringing it. She is bringing
I'm sorry, but
that's what I'm talking about.
Right,
that is so true.
Absolutely.
That is so true.
Absolutely.
You know,
and I need you to get the right information because you're an answer to a question that I'm asking. Yes. You can answer a question. Everybody watching and is going to watch this answers a question. There are people who are dying. There are things that are happening because you're not able to answer their question because you don't know who you are. So you need to realize who you are. Yeah.
And walk in your greatness.
Yeah.
You better believe that.
Walk in your freaking magicalness all day long.
Hello.
Walk in your
all day long.
Right. That's why
magical
are a part of GBG.
Hello.
It's more than just knowing the tools, getting the tools and creating content. You know, that's after you do the work and the professional development.
Yes.
For you to find out who you are and who you're serving.
Don't sleep on
do that work first.
Yes.
That
yeah.
work is so important. So important. So
Yep.
my next question is, as a leader, mentor, how do you develop both personal and corporate leadership in your clients and your mentees?
The way I do that is first asking, you know, where do you think you are?
Hmm.
See,
Yeah.
write this down. The student dictates the lesson. Okay. So I can never assume if you're in 4th grade or if you're in 12th grade. I need to understand where you are.
Right.
Because if you're in 4th grade and I'm giving you 12th grade physics, it's not going to help you. I just become this person who talks too much. Right. But if I can meet you where you are, okay, I promise you, I can then say, okay, here's where you are. Well, here's a law of the universe that if you study it for yourself, if you do your research, when it becomes part of you, you will by default apply it to your life. When you apply it to your life, then you begin to see changes. And I always say there's this realistic expectation that time will prove all things because time takes all things, right?
Yes.
God can change a situation in 24 hours. He can, right? But this journey of becoming is a process.
Yes.
And there's science and numbers and mathematics in it. So what I do is I realistically prepare you for the journey, for the process. These are the things you're going to feel. So I had somebody say, okay, I need you to help me with this because I'm going to kill this person. I'm like, well, you can't kill this person.
Can't kill. Although sometimes, yeah.
Right. So how do you forgive them? Right. So I had a difficult time forgiving my rapist until I was, Dr. Monroe said, God said, if you don't forgive them, then he don't forgive you. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, look it up for yourself. So I go to BibleGateway.com on a daily. I look through different versions. I found the scripture that said, all right, if I don't forgive, all right, so then I'm not going to be forgiven. And that's just too much. Like, you're not worth that because I got too much that I see, right? I've gotten a glimpse. I've gotten a glimpse. So I just started, okay, I forgive you. And so I told this person, but I don't feel it. I said, but keep saying it. Say it out loud. Bless them out loud. Right? I forgive you, I love you, and I bless you. You'll see on some of my posts, I hashtag forgive, hashtag love, hashtag bless. Why? Because those are laws. Right? Yes. So if you say something 7 times, it begins to become habit.
Yes.
If you do something 21 times, you now have 21 days in a row forgiven, loved, and blessed this human. And so the science behind that is you have 21 strands of DNA in a nutshell. 21 strands of DNA. You do something 21 days in a row. You have literally reprogrammed one strand of DNA. So by day 22, you different. And you're not even thinking about them. And when you do think about them, you realize it from a different perspective. Oh, no, that had to happen so that this could happen. So I said to this person, you forgive them because this had to happen so your future could happen. And I promise you, if you do this 21 days in a row, it's science. It's a law. It's a law of gravity. Fight. And it's as sure as this. Here's the visual, right? You go off on a bridge. You're on the San Francisco Bridge, right? And it's beautiful. But if you jump into the water, what's going to happen to you? Right? Gravity kicks in.
That's right. Pulls you down.
Right. That the law of gravity. Can't see it, but it's real. This is how those keys. So to answer your question, find out where the person is. Where are they in their journey? Because we're all in different places. And then I'm telling you, there's keys. You want to receive the keys? Okay, here you go. Now run with it and be free.
Free.
I love it.
True freedom. Absolutely. Because when you don't forgive people, it hurts you. Absolutely.
And you can apply everything that you said to your business. Because you can't serve a person if you don't know what their needs are. And how do you find out what a person's needs are? You ask questions.
Yes.
Right.
So then you know where they are, then you'll know what arsenal you can pull from, what tool to help solve their problem because you asked a question. So I hope everybody is seeing how all of
Yes.
this it all comes together. It's just more than just getting leads. It's more than the commission. It's about the mission, y'all.
Yes.
So, you do the work, you find out who you are, and then you develop it. You
Yes.
develop it. You come to GBG, get the food that you need. You're gonna get the food. You're gonna learn strategy. You're gonna it's just so much. It's just it all comes together. It all
Mm-hmm.
comes together. So I
It sure
love
do.
the answer. It was
Yeah.
so simple. Finding
So
out where they are so you can meet them there.
right. So you
Right.
can lead them there. Yes, Dee.
It doesn't make
Yes.
sense to talk here and they're not there. Because, like you said, you
Absolutely.
just gonna be talking too much. In their
Yes.
mind, blah, blah. They'll be like, wah, 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 wah.
Yes.
You
Going
know?
over
Wah, wah, wah,
there.
wah. You
Yeah,
sound like Charlie Brown's mom.
yeah.
Charlie
Yes.
Brown's mom, like,
Get
So
on
wah,
them
wah, wah.
elbow and look them in the eye.
that's it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and then they don't want to be around you. You'll find that they'll avoid you because
Yes.
Mhm.
no. So, and
Oh, yeah.
every human, like if ever, I believe every human was meant to be a business owner. I do. This whole thing, industrial revolution and all that kind of stuff. Like back in the day,
But
everybody
why?
had businesses. We bartered and stuff like that. So in you is a business. It's tied to your passions and what you're good at, right? My father kicked me out of the house when I was 18 years old because he wanted me to go to school to be a nurse or an engineer, right? I wanted to be a teacher. So in 1983, I'm making $500 a week waiting on tables, which is a lot of money even now, right?
Oh, yeah.
$500 a week
Oh,
making
yeah.
tips. And I said, I'm going
Absolutely.
to wait on tables for 2 years. Then I'm going to go to school and be a teacher. Now I used to see myself teaching, right? And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're going to be a nurse because money's in being a nurse. Now my dad was just trying to protect me. He was trying to
Oh,
do the
yeah.
best he could with what he knew because he had struggled. And I get that. But I'm here to tell you, this is what that is. What it is you're born an eagle.
Yes.
And society forces you to function like a fish. See, I have a
Mhm.
sister-in-law who's a nurse. I could never be a nurse because I don't want to deal with all that blood and cutting
No.
and stitching and all that. That
No.
is not me.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
But teaching and being a creative is, right? So when we find our lane, when we find our business is connected, how can what it is that you're passionate about? And here's the question. My mentor, Dr. Monroe, asked me the same question. It's the same question that Jesus asked his disciples. That's why, do you know Jesus had 12 businessmen? They weren't
Right.
just guys off the street. They were businessmen. Luke was a doctor. Matthew was a bill collector. He was despised. Now I'm Sicilian, German, and Irish, and I have family in Sicily who deals with
Yes.
numbers. They the mob. They were
Yes.
despised. They were business people, right? But God says, no, you're going to reach a different section of humanity with the type of human that you are. That's why the gospels all look differently. They sound differently because they come through a different perspective.
Right.
So you're an eagle, but society has forced you to function like a fish and it's been killing you. So I'm saying be the bird.
Yes.
Conversely,
Yes.
you're a shark and they've been taking you out of the water and trying to put fake wings on you like Halloween and forcing you to fly. It's going to kill you, sis. Be
Absolutely.
the shark. Be
Absolutely.
the bird, be the shark, be whatever it is that you is. Just be it, please.
Yep. Just
And
be.
be it unapologetically.
That's it.
Unapologetically.
Refine your skill. Learn how to fly. Learn how to soar so that when they look at you, they're like, oh my God, look at that eagle. You never see Facebook posts of people saying, saw a red robin today. You know,
Ah.
but you see Facebook posts where people will be driving and be like, oh my gosh, I saw an eagle today.
Fly like an eagle. Mhm.
Oh,
Because it's
Gotta believe it.
glorious. Because it's glorious.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's open up the doors of the church. Let the church say amen.
Amen. We're gonna be passing around the plate in just a moment.
That was amazing. All right, my next question for you is how do you balance being a happy wife, joyful boy mom with your professional responsibilities as a leader and a mentor? How do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of work within itself.
Absolutely.
It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work until you understand this law of the universe. And that is, if the eagle is being an eagle, then eagle things become effortless.
Mm.
Wow. I love it.
So we're not, I know we hear it, and this is going to challenge your thought process. We're not supposed to hustle and grind. It's not, no.
Right.
We're just supposed to let it happen.
Let it flow.
Let it be. Just so when Creator put the first two humans in the Garden of Eden, there was a physical location. And that word Eden actually means presence. So the Creator puts him in humankind, in his presence. And he says, I want you to be fruitful and multiply. But he uses a word, and that is, I want you to work. Now, to answer your question, that word work in the original language means to become. Creator says, get in my presence and put your hand to do those things that you see, that you dream about, that you're passionate about, and just become. So understanding that that's God's original intention, Creator, Infinite Spirit's original intention towards me, all I got to do is prioritize, organize, and discipline my day to God first, my husband second, our child, and then the business.
Yes.
In that order.
Write this down.
That order.
Yeah.
That part.
Prioritize, organize, and discipline.
Yes.
Is easy when you're becoming who you were created to be.
Yeah.
So some of us, and I've been there, working another job because you think you have to have income. And the reality of it is manage the little bit that you have right now, because you already see the much. But if you're faithful to manage this little, then what happens is you can join a platform like GBG or BFX, and you can learn a skill set, and now you have more income coming in, and then you have time freedom, and then you find yourself in a place where you're actually thriving. You're finding, following, and funding your passion, right? Your purpose.
Come on now.
Right? And it's not toil. It's not strife. It's not difficult, because you're in right alignment with his presence, with your passions. Purpose is revealed, and you're moving to what you see. You're becoming that thing that you see. And I'll give you a little hint. That's stuff that I want you to take yourself back to when you were 7 years old or 5 years old. And you had, before that place where oppression, manipulation, and doubt and anger and fear enters into the mindset and creates wrong thinking and gave you wrong knowledge. You were created with a birthright, and that birthright is wealth, time freedom, the ability to go and do and people, and have people stop you and say, wow, how is it that you guys are always on vacation? Wow, how is it that how is it in the middle of this recession and companies closing and layoffs? How are you thriving? You become objective evidence of Creator's original intention, and he assigns people to you, and then you're able to talk, because I'm not grinding, working 2-3 jobs. I'm becoming the one thing I was
absolutely.
You're in alignment. You're aligned with the Creator in the way that he wants you to be. There's no choice but to be blessed.
No choice but to succeed. Absolutely.
You want to be blessed.
Those dreams you have are real. It's God talking to you. He says he speaks to his sons, his wombed sons. Like, you guys see the movie The Woman King? She's a king, but she's a wombed king. She has the womb where she carries the child. You have the male, you have the female. we're both equal, right? Created equal sons. We both were given a birthright. I'm just a female because I carried the fetus, right? It's part of the function, right? And so, and ensuring that things are manifested on earth for generations and generations. And so you have to see yourself the way God, Creator, Infinite Spirit sees you, right? That's why I get excited to be with you guys. I said this morning on the call. I see your avatars, and I'm like, ooh, look at that greatness there, and ooh, look at that greatness there. Like, it's so easy for me to meet somebody where they are because all this greatness that's on them, and that's how we have to look at each other. Because the law of the universe says I'm created in the image and likeness of the Creator.
Yes.
I'm valuable. You're valuable. You're valuable. This Facebook user up here is valuable.
Absolutely.
It's priceless. It's precious. It's freaking magical, pure awesomeness, because they were created just like Creator. Who am I?
Absolutely.
Am I to treat them any other way than in a freaking magical and pure awesome way, right?
That's right. That's right. That's
so
right.
It's,
wow.
Yeah.
Woo.
So we have to honor one another, and we have to encourage one another and love one another and realize that we're all interconnected with one another. You can be an introvert, you know, but at some point you got to connect with somebody for things to come to pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why businesses, networking, so important. That's why our GBG calls so important. That's why our BFX calls and education are so important, right? Because all these things intertwine. We all need one another, right?
We do.
Ultimately, to become who we were created to be.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And if we just change the mindset when we meet people, you know, because it's not just all about signing someone up or selling them something. You're meeting a person, you're building a relationship, you're making connections, and just let it flow naturally how it's gonna flow. And you're not gonna connect with everybody. You know, you may not gel like that.
Right.
So think about this. Right. You take your car into AutoZone, or you take your car into Jiffy Lube. You need an oil change. You go to the counter. How can I help you today, ma'am? Well, I need my oil change. Anything else?
Yeah.
No, just my oil change. Okay. So they're not going to try to sell you 4 tires. They're not going to try to sell you, well, let me just take out your engine and give you a new engine. No, they're going to change your oil. They're going to send it on your way, right? When you come into VFX and you meet our legend maker, Coach Megan Lynch, who is a person who connects us all together, she will ask you, what do you want to do? You want to learn the skill set? You want to build? What do you want to do? You want to learn? You want to earn $10,000 by building, right, a business, or do you want to earn $10,000 by becoming a trader and learning the skill set of trading? What do you want to do? Is it one or the other? It's both. And then whatever you say, she's like, okay, bet. And then what does she do? She connects you with who? With your success line, with Courtney Logan and all of the educators in the back office, right? Coach Meredith, who are you? Why are you here? How can we help you? Right? And all of you on there. Like, so yeah, it's good business principles in the student dictates the lesson. You meet their need, because if you do anything more, then you're pimping them, you're robbing them, you're abusing them. Just give them what they need. Don't see people as dollar signs. See everybody as humans and as an answer to a question. And if they get equipped by default, you're going to rise with them.
That's the beauty of it. We all go together.
Thrive together when we're all doing it.
Right.
From the place of mercy and love.
We all go together. Love it. I love it. So the last question, what I would like for you to do is to share a specific example of how you used your skills and your experience as a professional and corporate leadership developer to help others achieve success. How did you do that?
Say the question one more time, please.
Okay. So share an example of how you used your skills and your experience as a personal or corporate leadership developer to help others achieve their success.
So I used to work for a time for someone else, and they owned a manufacturing company.
Mm-hmm.
And they had problems with their culture because of things that had been said by one of the principals. They had a principal who was very dogmatic, was brilliant in their own right, but had difficulty communicating with humans, and was just in a place that, combined with their issues, that they just were not a nice human. Like, as they began to trust me in my position of leadership, I could say things that other people couldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
And this person was a hundreds of millions millionaire, right? And very few people could check them. And I had the honor of being one of the people who could. Because he realized, because I earned his trust, and then I loved him through the process. He didn't know how to change. He didn't, right? So I would say to him, would you just shut up and be a nice human, please? Like, sometimes you just have to be willing to have those conversations. But I didn't do it in front of his employees.
Right.
And I didn't do it in front of the other partners.
Yes.
Right? There's a way in which to equip people.
Yes.
So check this out. So they had a turnover at their place that was like astronomical because of the way he spoke to people. Then the other principal didn't want to go out and like intermix and mingle, because here's what you have to understand. There's a science and a psychology behind every human, and Creator made us that way. There's something I want you to write down. It's called Maslow. Mazlow. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
Okay. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow was a guy who studied humans. And after he studied all these humans, he breaks every human down. The king, my mentor used to say, the wealthiest person living in the castle or the poorest person living under the bridge. All of them are looking to answer 5 questions and all do the same thing. And that is, actually it's MAS. I'm sorry. I think it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It'll pull up. So, and that is this. At the base, we all need food, water, all right? Then we need clothing, we need security, we need a house, right? But then at the top of this pyramid, people need what is called self-actualization.
Yes.
They need to know that they matter.
Yes.
So if you're a business person and you have people working for you, employees, and you're not developing their personal leadership, and you're speaking down to them in dogmatic, and you're always cussing them out. Like, man, this dude was always cussing his people out. And these guys were skilled at what they did. They were skilled machinists in their trade. And they were doing things for like the, for airplanes, for the military. Like, they were doing these things that not everybody can do. And you're telling them they're stupid and they're dumb because they make a mistake or they're asking a question or whatever. Okay, so I'm like, you can't walk out there and call them stupid. You can't.
No.
They're gonna leave, and you can't find somebody to make that part. So be a nice human.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was frustrated. He didn't know how to be a nice human. All right. So I have these opportunities to teach him how. Okay. Understanding. All right. So it was little things like, well, if you just walked around these 100 employees and just, you don't even have to say nothing. You just got to smile. Hey, you just got to, what if I don't necessarily mean it? Well, say it 7 times, do it 21 days in a row, and you're going to feel differently about the people who work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for 21 days in a row, I'm doing a walkthrough, a walkabout. Just smile. How's it going? All right. At day 22, then the principal begins to think differently. Like, oh, okay. Well, what if we did this? What if we did this? What if we had an appreciation day? What if right? Because every human needs to feel important. Now, what happens?
Yes.
The 100 people working for that principal begins to feel important. So they only stayed because they got paid really well and they had really good benefits. but they hated their jobs. So they were drinking and they were smoking and they were stressed and blood pressure. And like, you're going to kill a human simply by not valuing the human.
Yes.
So now we create a culture where the top, because everything stems from leadership. Everything.
Everything.
It doesn't rise from the bottom up. It starts from your paradigm, the culture that you're creating in your business, in your company, in your group, right? What is your mission, vision, and values? Your culture is tied to your values. And so now it's like, okay, all right, principal is beginning to see now all of your supervisors who were just mini-me's, let's get them walking through.
Yes.
Now, that was a 3-year process. 3-year process from going to, I can't stand that place. I can't stand him. And the principal, like, I can't stand them. Stupid MFers and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't say that to another human.
Exactly.
They're bought into their family for you. What are you loco? This is, you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. I totally get
Mercy and love. You're a distribution center because you can employ people. Where's the mercy and the love? All right, so now everybody wants to work at this place. Like, wait a minute, something's changed over there. Oh yeah, oh they do this, oh they do that. So that personal corporate leadership doesn't come, right? The right kind of corporate leadership doesn't come until the right kind of personal leader is developed.
Yes.
Because it is personal leadership that then becomes corporate leadership by owning a business. And then by default raises other leaders up underneath them. I'm from Southeast Michigan and home of the automotive industry. Ford, Chrysler, I've worked for billionaire CEOs, been executive assistants, corporate trainers. I've been in the boardrooms and I've been everywhere in between. And I'm telling you, I can talk to the person who they consider the lowest on the chain of command and tell exactly where the heart of the leader is, the CEO, without ever meeting that CEO, based on the culture.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So personal and corporate leadership are directly tied. Now, that applies not only in the workplace, but it applies in your home. You can tell when you meet my husband what kind of wife I am by my husband's demeanor.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell what kind of mom I am. Hashtag boy mom.
Boy mom. Absolutely.
By the way my son acts. Personal and corporate leadership on every level.
I love the way you put that together.
Yes.
Love it. I love
that
it.
That was phenomenal, guys. If you received value from this interview, make sure you drop some gems in the chat. And oh my God, Linda. Oh my God, Linda.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
Oh my God, for agreeing to this interview with us. Thank you to our audience for watching, for staying on. We know this was over an hour, but we appreciate you guys for staying on to the end. And I hope you guys receive some nuggets. And of course, we're going to see you guys next Tuesday for another phenomenal Live at 5.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. I hope that you were able to see how you can apply the principles that Linda Jo shared with your personal life, your business life. She talked about home life, everything, because it all comes together.
It does.
It all comes together. So I know this wasn't like our regular type of interview, but every now and then, we got to go back to the basics. We got to go back and go to the root of who we are so that we can thrive in whatever niche that we're in, whatever passion we have, whatever skill set we have. It all comes together. So again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you. Thank you so much, Linda, Dr. Linda. Yeah, I'm giving you the title now. I gave you a title.
Linda's so white, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. Yes.
I done gave her a promotion.
Yeah, right. And we're gonna see you guys next Tuesday for
Yes,
part three of list building, right? Part
yes,
two of
we'll be
list building is next
we'll be
Tuesday. We're
discussing
gonna see
list
you
building.
guys 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, each and every Tuesday. Same bat chime, same bat channel. All right. Bye,
All right,
guys.
see you
Thank you
next
so much,
week. Bye
Linda.
bye. Thank you,
Bye,
Linda.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.